Hey guys, and welcome to our Modern Horizon 2 Collector Booster Box opening. This will be our second Collector Booster Box opening, and this time we have Jake opening his box. Stick around for trying to find out what cards are in this box, if it's a dud or a total hit. Stick around.
I'm in the right place. Right?
We are here. We are
Hello.
live.
Hey.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our Modern Horizons 2 Collector Box opening. This one is Jake's this time.
Woo! Go Jake!
I'm
and
excited.
We also
for this.
have Ben and Nick and myself commenting on the shiny cards.
Hi. Here for the shiny.
Yes. Hopefully we get a lot of shiny stuff.
I just want to see shiny squirrels. Lots of shiny
that'd be
squirrels.
good. I need more foil squirrel tokens. I don't think I have
you
enough
seen the
here.
full border general score?
I have. I really like the okay, so to run through it, so it's the borderless, otherwise known as alternate art. Because there's so many variants in this set.
It's crazy.
So yeah, because I really like the borderless version compared to like the normal art or the retro frame.
Mm. He's so cute.
Oh,
and
very
so
much
mean.
so. Yeah, I'm hoping this is just the start of them just cranking out a ton of different squirrels. But yeah, so we got the Modern Horizons 2 collector box. I'm super excited to open it. It's got a little bit of weird stuff on the plastic going on, so if this is a dud box, we'll just blame it on the person I bought it from. So I won't drop what shop that was until the end of this. Not to curse us.
Just don't pull any like aces of spades or anything like
that. There's just like old World of Warcraft cards in here. Just rocks. This whole thing is just full of rocks.
Yay, rock.
I was testing out the chat commands here.
Yes. So, and then just for those who are going to watch this as a recording on whichever services that is, I don't know if we can say the one that starts with a Y on Twitch. Can we say?
Sure
can we say
can.
YouTube?
It'd be fine.
We can say YouTube. All right. So those watching it on YouTube, what we're going to do is we're going to go through this slower than a lot of other box openings and kind of discuss some of the cards that we come across in it as well, especially some of the commons and uncommons, because I don't think enough people are talking about them. What do you guys think?
It's worth it to discuss all the pretty art and all the shiny cards.
All of that too.
All of that glitters.
So, does anybody have anything they're hoping to see out of this box?
I'm hoping for someone to pronounce that one card.
Oh God. We need to get Paul.
Yeah, if you do pull it, you have to say its name.
Oh jeez. I have not. I should have been practicing that.
Paul did in the last one.
Paul did a phenomenal job.
Yes, he did.
So yeah, a few holes in this. It does still have the Wizards logo on the front sealed part. The back part does not. But I think that could be normal. So throw that over there.
It's a fake.
Let's get cracking.
That's why I saved so much money on this.
They so money on a fake. Good job.
It was like one of the, I got it off of eBay. I did the pre-order on there. And did we ever also, so not to go into that before I change subjects, but did we ever find out what art this was?
I don't know.
I know someone said what it was in the last opening.
Did they?
What was it? It said it was some kind of a Goyf thing. What was it?
Oh, the Necrogoyf?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
So it's something
interesting.
along the lines of that, but that could be wrong. I don't know.
Okay, and so for opening, I'm going to do a pile for commons, a pile for uncommons. I'm going to try and do a pile just for every single slot that we open up. So for those who don't know, these packs are kind of mapped out. So you get a certain amount of commons, a certain amount of uncommons, then each card after that is going to have something in common. Like it'll be the slot that always has a sketch card, or there'll be 2 slots that are ones that were previously printed in Modern Horizons 1. One of the slots will be a new to modern reprint. And then I think the last one is like a rare mythic and like the highest foil rarity it has or something. Don't quote me on that part. Yeah. So
let's go.
Let's do this. I'm excited.
Let's go.
All right. So starting off, we've got a Flourishing Strike. I don't think there's a lot to talk about with this one. Got kind of cool art. I don't know, is this blurry on there?
It's a little blurry, yeah.
It's a little bit. Is it some dude like cutting a dragon's head off?
It looks like, yeah, it looks like he's either got an energy sword or something of that sort. Deals 5 damage to a creature with flying, or you can give something 3/3 until end of turn. You can entwine it. Seems good for limited. Not for. Also, for those who don't know, we're an EDH stream. We talk about Commander, so that'll be the lens this will be through. Speaking of the lens that it'll be through, it's Lens Flare.
How I run.
That was kind of crazy. This poor lizard on here. I actually really like this card. I don't know if it makes it into an EDH deck, but it has affinity for artifacts. So it costs 1 less for every artifact you control. It's 4 and a white. So it could cost 5 to cast. It could cost just 1 white. And it deals 5 damage to an attacking or blocking creature.
Well, shit.
Okay. It's not an insubstantial amount of damage, and it doesn't have to be attacking or blocking you. So in a multiplayer format, it gives you some options of when you could just hit something for 5.
Dude,
There's a lot of treasure token decks out there that it could fit into.
There is. It's kind of like there's a really good treasure maker in white as well with Smothering Tithe.
I remember when I started playing Magic, one of my friends that introduced me, he had a lot of cards like that. It's just like, I'm going to destroy target tap creature. I'm going to deal 5 damage to attacking creature. It's just left and right coming out like Payday.
Those mean white cards sometimes.
We're so mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see this in, the new Zabaz, the Boros modular deck. I could see this maybe for Brea. I don't know. Like, I don't think I'd actually put it in a Brea deck just because it's got blue and black as well and red.
Everything but green.
Yeah, like maybe this goes in a Teshar deck as removal, like a budget Teshar deck where you want to cast a lot of artifacts in mono white. So
I'm thinking like the Negan deck that I've got where every sacrifice is a treasure token.
Sure.
I mean, it's not the greatest card for it, but it would fit.
Yeah, I think because of your synergy to sacrifice stuff, you could find some other things than this, unless you just really like this lizard on the art who's just getting blasted by a death beam.
Poor lizard.
And we got an Unholy Heat after that. This one I was very excited about when I first saw it before I read anything, because that is the Thermo Alchemist from Innistrad, from the Shadows over Innistrad block, if any of you are familiar with him.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
No, Thermo Alchemist is he taps to like ping something, and he can untap when I think it's when you cast an instant or sorcery. And he was pretty mean when I first started playing Standard back in that block. So when I first saw this, I was like, oh gosh, here we go. Not quite, though. 1 red for an instant. It deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. So it's kind of like a shock, but it can't hit players. So it's not really like a shock. But if you've got Delirium, which is if you have 4 cards, let me start that over. So if you have 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, so that's your creatures, artifacts, instant sorceries, planeswalkers, any of those card types. If you have 4 or more, instead of doing 2 damage, it's going to deal 6 damage. Red's got a lot of rummaging. It's got a lot of faithless looting effects. You could fill that graveyard up. Could happen. And you could just be doing 6 damage to something for 1 red mana.
So
It's not bad.
for it being a little bit blurry up close, I can't really tell out what the art is. Like it kind of looks like a devil vomiting fire.
Well, the funny part about that is that I want to see if I just zoom a lot. That does not help anything, does it? Yeah, this is the flavor text says the devils use fire. Why shouldn't we? So that's kind of funny. Yeah, that's his. You can kind of see like his beardy face there a little bit.
Kind of.
But yeah, just kind of a cool little shock style card. I could see myself considering it for graveyard managed decks that have red.
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear some jingling in the background. That's my dog scratching her collar right next to me.
Bork.
Oh, here we go. Speaking of graveyards,
Gotta get that.
it's a landscape Kolos. This is a goat beast.
What the fuck?
So yeah, we're getting there. We've got more goats. We got 2 goats in this set, I believe. There's this guy, and then there's an artifact goat that devours artifacts.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, this one's pretty good too because goat tribal is the new dream now that everyone's playing squirrels.
Now that
Too
it's
mainstream for me. Yeah, we got to dig into goats. The problem is goats span the color pie quite a bit. I think the only one they don't touch is blue right now.
I want to see a blue goat now.
I kind of want to see a blue goat too.
It'd be like a blue shapeshifter with the art that looks like a goat.
I like to imagine it's just a goat wearing all of Jace's clothing. Got the edgy hood. He's looking cool in a corner, just chewing on some grass.
Edgelord goat.
Edgelord Mind Mage the goat. We did it, guys. Modern Horizons 3, I'm looking at you.
Make that alter. Yeah. Next.
So this guy, well, yeah, a little bit about this guy. I really like him. He's a 6 mana 4/6, 5 and a white. When he ETBs, you put a card from an opponent's graveyard on the bottom of their library. Not the greatest, but it has basic land cycling for 1 and a white. So at instant speed, you can discard this and search your library for any basic land card and put it in your hand. So for decks that want color fixing, this can be pretty okay, especially if you can reanimate, because even though his ETB is not that great, it's still a 4/6 body that you can throw in the graveyard for 2 mana and still have an upside. So kind of one of those neat little cantrip ones to look out for, because there's a lot of decks that I think could utilize something like this as a graveyard hate piece if they can instant speed reanimate, which does happen to be the draft archetype for white and black in Modern Horizons 2. So keep an eye out for this guy. And that's going to be, we have 4 commons in here, so this next one's an uncommon. And I like the flavor text on this already. Ooh.
What is it?
I love this card. This is Scuttle Tide.
Ooh.
And I don't know if it'll show up, but these are all crabs.
Yay, crabs.
Yes. We got crabs, everybody.
I want more crabs.
So this is an enchantment for 1 and a blue, and it's got 1 discard a card to make a 0/3 crab creature token, and then it has Delirium, Crabs you control get +1/+1.
Yes.
Very excited for this. I'm thinking about putting it in a changeling build because all of my changelings would be crabs. They would get +1/+1.
That's gonna go.
And a 2-mana Anthem is pretty good.
Bananas.
I was thinking like a Rael deck. Discard a card, draw a card, create a crab.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And that, I mean, if you're in any type of wheels build, you're going to be discarding stuff. Like, I mean, this could be like one of those just weird cards that ends up in like a casual wheels deck, if that exists.
I've got one.
It does. You were saying casual. Get out of here.
You could, like, if you remove a Hull Breacher and put in a Scuttle Tide.
Totally.
My favorite thing about this card is the flavor text on the bottom, which says, "We're going to need more butter." And it is a quote from Ghoul Caller Gisa, who seems like probably too serious of a person to make that joke, but I'm all about it.
I love it.
I like that it's got Gisa on there because one of the things you can do with this is you can discard a zombie in the Gisa and Geralf style deck to make a crab, which then you can use as sack fodder to reanimate a zombie.
Go tell Matt to add it in his deck then.
I hope he's listening right now. So, Crab Zombies 2022. I'm calling it.
Next.
We've got a Batterbone. This is another living weapon. This is pretty neat. 2 mana to drop it. It comes in attached to a little Phyrexian germ token. I like that they errated all the germs to be Phyrexian germs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I believe that applies to all of the old germs that have been out there too. So, living weapons are actually Phyrexian tribal now. Gives the equipped creature +1/+1 vigilance and lifelink. It does have an equipped cost of 5 though.
Oh shit. No, never mind.
That's why it's an uncommon and not a rare.
That's a little want.
It is, but so when Matt was building his Greven deck, one of the biggest things he ran into is how to give repeatable lifelink to something outside of white and green. Which black has some lifelink, but trying to find stuff, because most of the stuff that does it, like Whip of Erebos, is I think a $12 card.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to find stuff that's casual that gives that lifelink, and having vigilance is, not a joke either. So I'd pay 2 mana for a 1/1 vigilant lifelink guy. I don't know if I'd pay 5 to equip it to someone though.
Unless you got like those other things that move it around for free.
Yeah, and I think you got to have some of that in the deck, or
gotta get that like squire.
Yes, that brass squire. All right, and then we've got our land slot, which is an etched foil land.
That's a
I don't know if this is coming up.
It
is a really pretty art. I believe these are all from Odyssey block. Are all the lands?
I like that.
What's that?
You're cutting out for a second.
Sorry, what?
You were cutting out for a second.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I believe all the lands, the basic lands that are etched, are from Odyssey, because they've got one of my favorites, which is the, and I hope we pull some of them, is the Lightning Plains. It's the plains that has a bunch of lightning in the background. So not a lot else to say about islands. So this will be our first extended art card. After this will be a rare or mythic.
Drum roll.
And we've got Death's Kiss.
Hell yeah.
I could use one of those.
I love that they've embraced meme culture. I love that we've got doggos and now we've got a chef's kiss. I actually don't even know what this card does. I just know it's called Chef's Kiss. Let's read it together. It says, gain control of target spell that targets only a single permanent or player. Copy it and then reselect the targets at random for the spell and the copy. The new targets can't be you or a permanent you control. Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking for a copy of that for my Ragavan build.
So my question, this kind of screams as a card designed for Arena, because random is so much easy to do on that. I suppose we just roll dice, figure stuff out that way.
Yeah.
How would you figure it out if you've got 10 lands and 5 non-land permanents?
Good question.
I forgot what you said the card does.
So when you cast this, you gain control of a spell that targets a single permanent or player. Then you copy it and you reselect targets at random for both the original spell and the new copy that you made. And they can't target you or a permanent you control.
Oh yeah, you just roll a die for random.
The problem I would see is if it's like, let's just say it's a murder, right? Destroy target creature. Well, let's do Chaos Warp. That's probably the hardest one, because it can hit any permanent. So if you try and Chaos Warp me and I Chef's Kiss, we'll have 2 Chaos Warps that randomly have to hit one of the other 3 players.
Thank you for the follow, Mr. Howe.
Roll a die to choose
Thank you.
Roll a die to choose permanents.
What's that?
Roll a die to choose the player, then roll a die to choose permanents.
Yeah.
I suppose you could do that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's going to be some point in a game where there's like 35 lands and like 15 non-land permanents, and then we got to like pick a random number 1 through 50.
This is when you get the D100.
Right? I guess, I don't know if I might have to think about that, but I think probably randomly picking the player first and then randomly picking their permanent's a good idea, Ben.
Yeah.
Importantly though too, so like this says that you gain control of it, but it can't target you. So if you're holding up this card as interaction and somebody does try to remove one of your permanents, you can almost play this like a counter spell.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty neat. I'll probably end up slotting that into maybe my Homura deck. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know yet. Ooh.
Next.
All right. Next one is a sketch art slot. And it is a Gargadon.
Ooh.
So
that's splendid.
Yeah. So there is the original, the Greater Gargadon, which everyone's familiar with. Okay. This is just a Gargadon. Now there's also a lesser Gargadon in Magic, so this is right in between the two. He would normally cost 7 mana for a 7/5 Trampler, but he's got Suspend 4 for 2. So you can 2 mana. He comes out 4 turns later as a 7/5 that you kind of forgot you had out there. Kind of nice. So yeah, not a whole lot to say outside of that as far as gameplay. Because he's a big body for a little mana, but a lot of time.
I do gotta ask this one important question. What is everyone's opinion on the sketch art?
Ooh.
It's on the sketch art.
I like it.
I haven't seen any of them in person yet, so I don't have a formulated opinion.
I like him on a case-by-case basis. I kind of hope we hit a sketch Grist in this, because he looks really cool. But I've gotten a few of the sketch ones so far, and packs have opened, and some of them are like really okay.
Yeah.
Some of them are neat, and then the foil ones are kind of lackluster, because without having color on the holofoil, it just doesn't really stick out. I was really hoping, if any of you play Yu-Gi-Oh, they have a rarity called Ghost Rare, and their Ghost Rares are kind of all white, but they just really pop. And that's what I was hoping for, but I don't think we're quite there yet. The one thing I do like about them is the flavor text. If for anybody who hasn't looked at it, on the sketch arts, they, instead of putting the normal flavor text to the card, they put down one of the notes from the art commission that they sent out. So like on here, it'll say, they'll always have a category. So it'll be like mood, intent, or action, describing what they want the artist to create. So here it says intent Magic has a greater Gargadon and a lesser Gargadon. See reference. We want you to design the average Gargadon.
It's
kind of neat to see that little, yeah. I like the word average Gargadon as well. Like, I kind of wish that was the card's name.
That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, but just kind of that peek behind the curtain is kind of neat. I enjoy that. But yeah, that's my 2 cents at least. Should we keep moving?
Yep.
See what's next.
Let's go.
All right, we got a rare. We got a rare sketch. It is Rise and Shine.
It's very shine.
Very shine. Yeah. Oh wow, you can't even really.
Yeah, you
turn
can't
it
really
like
see
this.
it.
If I turn it at an angle.
Kinda, yeah.
So to describe this, these are animated. This is a book. There's some other things on here. This is a artifact animator card. For 2 mana, you can animate an artifact. So that's you turn an artifact into a 0/0 artifact creature, and then you put 4 1/1 counters on it. So for 2 mana, you can turn your food token into a 4/4, which is okay. But you can overload it for 4 blue. So you can turn all of your artifacts into creatures.
Ooh, I want that.
It can be pretty neat, I think.
I'd be interested to see the game for sure. See how people use it.
Yeah, I think you have to be in a really specific deck.
Yeah.
Probably in what they tried to design for this was they called their, I think it was their blue-green archetype junk, which the junk archetype is just like you get a bunch of tokens like crabs and treasures and food and clues, and you just get crabs. So, like, I think for decks that really do a lot of those food tokens and things like that, it could be good. I think the problem with food tokens right now for Commander is that the 2 commanders we have are red-black and green-black.
Right.
Chefs tend to have that black color type on there. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a fame thing or what, but hopefully we end up with like some experimental chef. You get a blue chef.
Blue chef.
A scientist chef.
Scientist chef. Maybe that's what we'll get in Innistrad. Just somebody making zombie souffle. Get a Stitcher who's also a chef.
That's weird.
Turn Giraffe into a chef.
All right, so the next one we've got looks like it is a what people have been calling time-shifted cards. So these are ones that have the retro border and are in foil. And we have got
What are?
a Soul Snare.
Oh, nice.
And the retro framing.
I like
One that I always have to double take when I read it because in one of my games we were many beers deep and someone called it Snoll Snare. And now every time I see it I'm like Snoll. So yeah, great card to have reprinted. I love effects like this. As you can't read it, for those who don't know, Soul Snare is a 1 white enchantment and says you can pay a white, sacrifice the Soul Snare, and exile target creature that's attacking you or a planeswalker you control. They call these rattlesnake effects, where I'm just going to pay 1 white and throw the Soul Snare on the board, and everybody's going to look at it and be like, oh, maybe I think twice about attacking Jake. And inadvertently, people just won't send chip damage towards you because they're like, do I really want to swing? Is it worth it? And eventually, if you use it, you probably get some good value out of it. It does sacrifice itself, so you can recur it with a Sun Titan. You can bring it back with a bunch of stuff. With the Enchantress sub-theme in this, too, you can draw a lot of cards just by playing these low-value guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one is a foil sketch. We've got
like
World Weary. It is pretty cool art. I like the candle on the dude's head. Were you about to say something?
I was, but then I lost my train of thought.
Oh no.
Oh no, yeah. The art reminds me of the dude from The Fifth Element.
Oh,
With that
sure.
hairstyle. What was the name?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that.
The main villain?
Yeah.
I don't remember either.
I don't know. I'll put it up on our YouTube channel. I'll edit it in here.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one. It seems kind of bad. 3 black to enchant a creature and give it -4/-4, but just like that other goat dude, it has basic land cycling for 1 and a black. I heard people talk about using this in Gen from Commander Legends, who wants to reanimate enchantments because you can just land cycle it so it's in your graveyard.
Yeah.
And then turn something else into it, and then if it kills a creature by giving it -4/-4, it goes back in your graveyard. So kind of a neat little tech with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool.
Next one, we have got, I'm excited about this.
What are you?
This is an Etched Foil. Doesn't show up super well on the camera.
Nope.
But this is a Quirion Ranger. For those of you who don't know, Quirion Ranger is a nefarious combo piece now with a Shia. Unless you return a forest you control to its owner's hand to untap a creature, so you can, when a Shia turns it into a forest, you can bounce itself to its hand and just replay it a bunch of times. It's kind of crazy. I was hoping that foil would show up just a little bit better, but into there. Keep moving here, and we have an Etched Foil Vindicate.
Oh,
that's another great staple. 1 white/black sorcery, destroy target permanent. Yep.
Short and sweet and to the point.
And I think this is the last card. We have an extended foil Out of Time.
Whoa.
It's really pretty with that foiling on there.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this card in Commander too. It basically operates as a board wipe on an enchantment. It phases out a bunch of creatures. They don't come back until it leaves. So, yeah, pretty neat stuff. Then we got a crab token.
Yeah, you got the crab.
0/3 crabs exist.
I love that crab stance because it's just like he looks so gangster.
Oh, he's ready to take it on.
He needs a knife in that claw.
Yes. What is that? A knife.
All right, let's get into the next pack here. We'll speed things up a little bit. We got a Silver Bluff Bridge. What's that?
Just your indestructible artifact land?
Indestructible artifact land. I talked about this in our Discord chat a little bit, but I'm pretty excited for these because there's some kind of neat tech you can do with indestructible lands. Darksteel Citadel used to see this a little bit with Ghost Quarter, where if people had out a Crucible of Worlds, you could Ghost Quarter your Darksteel. This Ghost Quarter says you destroy a land, you search your deck for a basic land, put it into play, and sack Ghost Quarter. Dude. So you would try to destroy your Darksteel Citadel. It was indestructible. You would search your deck for a basic land, and then you could just replay the Ghost Quarter with the Crucible of Worlds.
That's so cool.
Now, since then, we've gotten Cleansing Wildfire and Geomancer's Gambit, which kind of do a Ghost Quarter effect on a sorcery. So being able to Cleansing Wildfire your own bridge turns it almost into like a Rampant Growth, just with options, which is kind of neat. And it cantrips. It's a really good card. More people should run it. It's only $1 right now.
Next.
Oh, it's a Drakekeeper. You asked for it, Nick. We got squirrels.
I want more of that art in my life.
It's so good.
Who's the artist
From
on that
Kev
one?
On that one. It's a little different.
Who's the artist
I
on that
like
one?
it. Kev Walker. I don't know him by name, but it reminds me of the Odyssey Squirrel Arts.
Hi, Senpai.
A little less gritty. What's that?
I said hi, Senpai, to chat.
Oh, hey. Hello. Yeah, pretty cool card. ETB makes 2 squirrels. You can pay 3 and a black, and squirrels get +1/+0 and menace until end of turn. Which sounds a lot like Sethron without haste. So, for a common in this set, I think this is a very good card. I think you should run it in your squirrel decks as a finisher, because menaces, especially with that many squirrels, that can get out of control.
Very fast.
Pretty good. It can be nuts.
Oh, there we go.
My favorite squirrel pun.
Kneel slapper. Knee slapper.
Cue the cringe.
Yep. Abundant Harvest. This card actually is new in Modern Horizons 2, but came out in Strixhaven. It was one of the mystical archives. It secretly came out before it came out in the set. This is abundance on a sorcery. So you get to either you play this card, you choose land or non-land, and you reveal cards from the top of your library until you get one of those and put it in your hand. So it's pretty okay. I don't know exactly what it's going to do. It makes me think Green Storm, because you can just play it to up your storm count, declare non-land, and replace it. More for limited. I don't know if I'd run this in Commander unless I'm playing like a Calamax type copy deck, where I could play this, get multiple copies of it, and then get 2 or 3 non-land permanents for 1 green mana. So maybe worth thinking about that kind of deck. But other than that, Soul of Migration. I was very sad that this was not a spirit, because it looks like one. I like mono white spirits. It makes bird. Yes. Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool foil. Can't really see it too well because my camera being terrible. It said it was 4K when I bought this camera. I don't believe it anymore.
It's just on your back.
Yep. This might turn into my face camera soon. Yeah, this dude ETBs. He makes 2 white birds. It's got Evoke for 3 and a white. So if you would pay 4 mana for 2 1/1 flyers, you should run this card. If you wouldn't do that, that's why it's common.
Nice.
Yama Elder. Favorite of many.
Looks awesome.
Not one that we really need to explain, because if you've played Commander, you've probably seen him already. Why are you here? Well, you're probably here for the box open, right? Start playing Commander. Follow us on Twitch. We'll kind of teach you how. Not really. Maybe we set up like a Patreon or something, and we'll just teach people to play.
Yeah.
Ooh, do that. Please do that. We'll move on from him. Combined Chrysalis. This is a card I was really excited for. I just was talking to Andrew after we played with his Chatterfang deck. Not that this would fit into it, but about tokens. This is an artifact for green and a blue that just says creature tokens you control have flying. It also says, right? Just giving all your creature tokens flying. Can you imagine like Azuri's Predation or Avenger of Zendikar, and then for 2 mana you just drop this and 17 1/1 plants have flying now?
Oh my god.
Just drop
As an
it.
Uncommon. It's just so
Flying
good.
squirrel.
Just drop it in my Sidisi deck and give my zombies flying.
Oh, this would be really good for Sidisi, actually.
Oh yeah.
Aside from that, it's not a creature itself; it's an artifact. But it's also got another mode on it. You can pay 2 green blue, tap this, and sacrifice a token and create a 4/4 green beast token. You can only do this as a sorcery. Oh well, Hornet Queen, don't they already have flying? Little 1/1 bugs. Hornets should have flying. That'd be so weird if they didn't.
Somebody needs to...
I do like that this says sacrifice a token, not a token creature. So got an extra food token, an extra clue token sitting around, 4 mana, and now it's a 4/4 beast with flying. Seems pretty good. All right. And it's the land. What a surprise.
Anyway,
We got a forest. That's
Shiny.
still a forest. Ooh. There it is. That is an extended scalding. What in carnation? My goodness. Yow. Yow. All right. I'm feeling good. Uh I need to get one. I need a cowboy hat. Yeah, not a lot to say about fetch lands. They're good. I think we all know that. Yeah, pretty happy. Pretty happy right here. I'm gonna put that over here somewhere. We'll keep our fetches in a separate pile. Oh, that's exciting. What's that? Oh yeah, this right? This is a white card. This is late to dinner, and I don't know if I can get I tried to get the glare off of here.
That's one of the rhino on it and something else
What's
sitting
that?
with. It's the one with the rhino artwork and something else sitting with him.
Yeah, so the artwork, it's really hard to see on here, but it's this chubby rhino man with an elephant man sitting next to him, but the elephant man is a ghost.
I love the artwork of that card. The sketch doesn't
Makes
do
sense.
The sketch doesn't do very good justice. Like, I appreciate that they did it, but it is kind of cool art. This is actually a pretty good card. This is a white reanimator card in common. So for 3 and a white, it's a sorcery that says return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield and then create a food token. So there's multiple cards that are already 4 mana in white that do this. They just don't create a food token. So even if you don't need a food token, this is better than those.
I'm agree.
But yeah, I mean, just having this is like the 3rd white reanimator sorcery. You can probably start stacking these together and doing something funky where you can reanimate a lot of stuff. So I don't know what the food token is going to do. And then the bottom of it, the text says the mood of this art should be a friendship that can outlast death.
Oh, that's adorable.
So they're very good friends. Ooh, we got a mythic as the next card. It is a 6/6. What would be a 6/6 mythic?
I don't know.
It says gain 3 life at the end. Ooh, I know what this is. So I'm actually building a tribal deck that's going to use this card. Ready? Set, and boom! It's an Archon of Cruelty in a sketch art. This is a crazy card. This is Cruel Ultimatum attached to a creature.
God damn.
It is 6 black for a flying Archon 6/6. I like that. So Cruel Ultimatum is part of an Ultimatum line. It's the Grixis one, and it has Nicol Bolas on the art, and you can kind of see we got the Nicol Bolas Horn Arch in the background.
Hell yeah.
But when this guy ETBs or attacks, target opponent sacks a creature or a planeswalker, discards a card, and loses 3 life. Then you get to draw a card and gain 3 life.
Yes.
So you're building an Archon tribal?
I am going to try to. Because
That's a full-on try.
it seems like a bad thing. What's that?
Who's your commander?
That is the question right now, because Archons, because of this guy being in black, and I think there was one other one that touches black, you need to be in Witchmaw, the redless one, so like Atraxa's colors.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah, so they used to call it, because there's a series of cards from Dissension called Nephilim, and the Nephilim were the first creatures to be the 4 color types, to my knowledge.
Oh.
And there were the full cycle of all of the whateverless ones, and the Witchmaw Nephilim was the white, blue, black, green. They're not legendary though, but a lot of people rule 0 and just play them as commanders anyway. Yeah, so it's got to be something in that. It's probably going to be a partner pairing. I haven't quite decided. It might have to have Ravos in it to replay some Archons. I don't really know yet. That's probably the hardest part right now, is that the commander is going to be a huge throwaway. So it might even be a Traxa, just because there's no other options.
Have it be something.
Yeah, the other thing I could do too is like there's no Archons in red, but I could do a 5-color commander and just have red in there, I guess.
Red value cards.
Chef's Kiss.
There you
Go
go.
in there. Deck that uses no red, I'm going to put a hard red card in there. So we have got our time-shifted foil, which is a Marble Gargoyle. This is a throwback to Granite Gargoyle from Alpha, which was the first card that referenced this very long name of a legendary creature.
You gotta say it.
No, I'm not going to say it.
Say it. You have to say it if you pull it.
All right. Yeah, if I pull it, I will.
Okay.
But for Marble Gargoyle, you can look that up yourself. But yeah, it's I believe it's a functional color shifted reprint of the card. So it's just a 2/2 flyer for 3 that you can pay 1 white and it gets +0/+1. So it's an artifact creature. It's in white. I don't know if that matters to anybody. I think that's the only difference. I think Granite Gargoyle is not an artifact creature. It does have the creature type Gargoyle, though, so maybe we'll see more of that in the future. Maybe.
Next.
All right. We got another time-shifted foil. I think this is our Modern Horizons 1 card. It is an Undead Auger.
Yes, it is.
That was a pretty good card for Modern Horizons 1.
Gargoyle tribal.
We'll make it happen.
Make it happen one day.
Yeah, Undead Auger was a really cool uncommon for Modern Horizons. I'm glad to see this cool time-shifty foil reprint of it because it looks so good with that border on it. I'm not a big fan of the retro borders. I started playing in like 2016, so like I don't get anything from it, but it still looks cool.
I like the black retro foil border.
I do too. It's my favorite one.
That's like the only one I like.
All right, the next one is also a 2/2. This is 3 2/2s in a row. Maybe we're playing bears.
Oh shit!
Oh wow. Okay, that's why it's another 2/2. Well, now we have a foil and an etched foil side by side.
One of the same.
You can kind of tell the shininess difference.
I didn't notice it was foil.
Yeah, these are both. We've got the standard foil here.
Mm-hmm.
See all that rainbowness. Oh, I lost an earbud.
Oh no!
Promise I'm special. And this one we've got the etched foil, which you'll notice there's no rainbowness, but we still get some shine to it. In person, the texture on these is a little different. They kind of feel a little weird. No, I shouldn't say weird, different. But yeah. So yeah, Gargoyle Tribal. It's on the menu now. That was an Underworld cookbook pun.
Senpai was lucky to get the Tarn because that pack was rough to watch.
Up until, yeah, without the Tarn, I think that would be rough. But, well, we still have the Archon of Cruelty. I don't know what he's worth. He's probably not that good outside of Archon Tribal. We'll keep moving.
Yeah, it's the card that you wanted.
Yeah, it was what I wanted. So we got Chainer Nightmare Adept. This was actually in a Commander product originally. It'll be interesting to see it in Modern. It's a really good Reanimator card. It's a weird haste enabler. If you run red and black and you want to discard stuff and replay creature cards, you should run it. I've seen it do some crazy stuff. Matt runs it in his Greven deck, and it's really cool. Mm-hmm. Then we got, it's a brown border. Oh, I think I know what this is. It's got a quote from Nico Eris on the bottom. I think there's only one card that does, and that is a Void Mirror. I don't know if this is worth anything, but it's an interesting card.
What does it say?
It helps. What's that?
What does it do?
So it's a 2-drop artifact. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no colored mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell.
Oh,
this will shut down an Eldrazi deck, like
a
colorless Eldrazi deck,
That's the
in a way that'll feel very bad. If you play against somebody who's running Kozilek as their commander, don't run this in your deck. be nicer than that. If you are playing against people who are casting spells for free, though, this is a card that will progressively get better the higher the power level goes, because your Force of Wills, your Fierce Guardianships, all of those things, Deadly Rollick, since you don't cast it with any colored mana because it's free, this will counter them. So it shuts off free spells. It's also going to shut off those plays like the turn one. Well, I shouldn't say turn one because you have to have this out. But if somebody's like, I'm going to play this Soul Ring, tap it for 2 colorless, and play a Signet, like suddenly they can't do that. So there's a little bit of thought for those high artifact heavy ramp decks. I think there's a few mean things you can do too with, I think it's Dampening Sphere can change some lands into producing only colorless mana.
I think it's funny that it's an artifact, it's colorless, and it hates colorless. So it hates itself.
Well, only if you don't spend if you spend colored mana into it, you're fine. So like that's the thing is you just need to have that colored mana in the spell.
Yeah.
Which like it'll force some things to happen too. So like pain lands or talismans, where there's the option to pay life to produce colored mana, you'll force some people to do that a little bit more. I don't know how this card's going to play out. I don't know. I don't follow CDH. Maybe Senpai has some thoughts on it. He might know a little bit more than I would on this. I play casually, and it's not like a real casual card. The only deck that came to my mind for this one is the Dan Sheehan Hunky Gym Dudes deck.
The what?
Where it was all going to be... there was a joke about making a deck that was all like hot guys and mirrors with the gym selfie deck.
Beautiful.
So it could go in there. It's a mirror.
Senpai says not good.
Not good. Okay.
Moving on.
Running it, guys.
Bird.
Move on. It's a bird. And there's a food on the back with a huge streak on it. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a roller mark on it, which is, it doesn't show up on there, but the bird looks pretty.
Burb.
Pretty bird.
That's
pretty bird.
Let's go.
Pack 3.
It's
Let's
only
speed
been
it up
3?
a little bit more.
Damn. Yeah.
We got Break Ties. This is a cool little modal instant. Got 4 modes. You can put a 1/1 counter. You can disenchant. You can exile a card from a graveyard. I actually really like this card. Any of my 1/1 counter decks, I'm probably going to run this in. This is one of the commons that I really thought was getting undervalued, because being able to kill an artifact or an enchantment for 3 is a little high, but also having the mode to exile a card from a graveyard can just change a game as well. So if you're holding up to destroy a thing, you might just do that. And if that doesn't happen, you can pay 1 white, discard it, and put a 1/1 counter on a creature.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Got another Abundant Harvest. We already talked about that.
Another one.
Gouged Zealot. This is a dude with reach. It's a Cyclops Berserker. I think that's interesting.
Cyclops.
I know, we don't have too many Cyclopses. I believe Okan, the coin flip guy, is also a Cyclops Berserker, though.
Pretty sure.
So, fun fact, I don't think he's the first Cyclops Berserker. And he's got reach. He's got Delirium, where if you've got 4 or more cards of different types, he deals... wait, what? When he attacks, he'll deal 1 damage to each creature the defending player controls. So he can blow up all the little guys. Seems okay. Got another Draykeeper. Be cool to get a place out of those. Not a lot to ask for in uncommon. Flame Rift. This is a pretty okay card. It deals 4 damage to each player. So for 2 mana as a sorcery and commander, you can burn yourself and your friends for 4 each. It's okay.
Yeah.
Shattering Auger is a skeleton shaman. He's got
I want it.
Yeah, he's got cool art. I actually really like this foil. This is a really clean foil. It doesn't show up super well on the camera. Oh, that shows up a little bit better. You can see they really highlighted the skeleton part pretty well.
I need that skeleton. I don't care what it does, I just need it.
He's actually pretty good. For 1 in a black, He can't block. When he ETBs, you draw a card and lose a life, and you can pay 2 black to return him from your graveyard to your hand.
I feel
So he cantrips himself. If you can play stuff, I wouldn't use his ability. I think that seems bad. That's a lot of mana. But if you're playing the Reanimators, the Muldrothas, if you want a budget Muldrotha build, this is a good card.
I Senpai there, or the pre-release, he did great. I ran 2 copies of him in my pre-release deck.
Nice.
Yeah, this does seem like a bomb for limited.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe not a bomb, but he seems pretty good for that because he filters. He's a body. Shame that he can't block, but you know.
Yeah.
Shattering Auger.
Spells.
I want all the skeletons so I can have a Larry deck.
Nice.
Mono Larry.
Shiny Plains. We got a rare. It's a 3/5. It is Hearth the Lion.
Oh, Christ.
The Golgari Super Friends boy. He gets to tutor up some planeswalkers, kind of, and then he makes all of your planeswalkers' loyalty abilities cost an additional +1 to activate, which is worded so weird, but is really good. There's a lot of planeswalkers who have like a 0 cost uptick, which now that turns into a +1.
I was gonna say, if it's a -1, then it just zeroes it out.
Yeah, it's just 0 then.
That's pretty neat.
It's interesting how they did it because they wrote it in a way that it won't affect getting to alts faster because it's not like it reduces the cost by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So like it gets away from some of those play a card, be able to alt it like in a weird way, kind of like doubling season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really think it's an interesting build. I don't know about the color selection. Like this fits in Atraxa for Super Friends. He's his own legendary creature, so you could make Golgari planeswalkers, but they don't have a ton of support. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him yet.
All the Garuks. All the Garuks.
Got a Faithless Salvaging in a sketch art. Pretty okay. 1 in a red, discard a card, draw a card, and it's got Rebound. So this effectively, for 1 more mana, is a slower Faithless Looting. I think you play this in maybe some kind of Storm deck, maybe some kind of copy deck, Magecraft. With Magecraft triggers, that Rebound gets a little bit more effective. You can just look for cards where you want to have things cast extra times, and this could slot in instead of a Faithless Looting, maybe.
Good.
I don't know, it's ones where like cards like this, where it's not too different, but it's a little different, can be kind of cool. We got another Mythic. Ooh.
Ooh, pretty.
Nice.
Pretty
Very nice.
That is a Fioraris Wake.
Awesome.
Another card I probably don't need to explain. It has your lands tapped for an additional mana. That is a really cool art on that.
That artwork kind of pops. That focus of that like ball in the middle, it pops right.
It reminds me of you guys remember Ushiki?
Little did you know the Mirari was actually a Fushigi the entire time. Dominaria just did not know how to handle the power of the Fushigi. The Cabal is just hoarding the Mirari because they are just so amused by it. That's my new headcanon now.
Ushiki.
Yeah, it's a very cool card. We got another Faithless Salvaging, this time in sketch foil. So,
hey.
I'm trying to see. Oh, I'm turning the wrong hand here. Can't really see that foiling very well at all on here. You can kind of tell.
At 4K
But
camera.
yeah, it's very, very faint on the actual art. They almost diminish it from where it is on the frame. We already talked about it, so I'm going to go on to Mind Collapse in the old border foil treatment with the little shooting star.
Pretty.
It's an instant for 4. If it's your turn, you can sacrifice a mountain rather than paying its cost, and it deals 5 damage to target creature or player.
Dude, sweet.
Free 5 damage if you sack a mountain. I don't know. Maybe I would do it.
Amazing
Storm
card,
count,
says
maybe.
Senpai. Oh man.
You got a Gorilla Shaman.
It is really
an 8 Shaman.
It's a lot of red cards.
A lot of red cards, yeah. It wants me to play more red, and I agree.
Sign.
This is a pretty good guy. XX1 on its activated ability to destroy a non-creature artifact with mana value X. So for 3 mana, you can blow up a Soul Ring. For 1 mana, you can blow up a Mana Crypt. For like a lot of mana, you can destroy something bigger than that. Like that's the problem is once you're looking at like, I need to get rid of this 4 CMC artifact. It's like, let me pay 9 mana to blow that up.
Eesh.
But having that attached to a 1/1 for 1, that's really where the money's at. Keep going, and we have another red card, a Goblin Engineer.
Love it.
Love this card. I needed more of it. The Etched Foil is pretty good in this one, actually. I really like this one in Etched Foil. The red just seems to pop a little bit more.
It does.
Like it's that moving. Ooh, I spoiled it a bit.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Hey.
Another one.
For those who haven't seen the other video of my single pack opening where I pulled 2 Garth One-Eyes. What's that?
They gotta go watch the video.
Go watch the video. It's
Go watch
pretty good.
the video on our YouTube channel. I'm gonna link it once again.
Link it.
Link that boy.
So this will help me complete having every version of this card, I guess. I think the universe is telling me I need to build Garth and play more mono red.
You need to build Garth. You need to make Garth into standard so you can have a playset.
I'm just gonna bring Shivan Dragon back into standard. So yeah, very cool way to end that one. A Fioraris Wake, a Goblin Engineer, and a Foil Sketch Garth. So this is the sketch art as well. Garth has 3 different arts. You can tell it's the sketch on this one by the little symbol. It almost looks like a crayon ran through it.
Yeah, why does the sketch art have color and the other ones don't?
It's I don't know if they just did the rare mythics as having color in it. I can't tell you.
Senpai says Garth works for your Archon deck.
Yeah.
Okay, Garth
Garthcon. Let's do some Garthcon. All right. So starting on the next pack, we've got another bridge. Everything I said about the other bridge applies to this bridge. Ooh, this is a card I was very excited for.
Squirrel.
This is
no samurai.
It's not a squirrel. It's a frog. This
Bushido,
is Jade. This is Jade Avenger. It is a 2/2 for 2 with Bushido 2. So it's a frog samurai. The reason I was excited for this is I don't know the name of the card, but there's a legendary samurai. He's mono green and he cares about other samurai. And this is the first actual green samurai that can go into his deck.
Yeah. It's the second green samurai in all Magic.
In all of Magic, that's mono green. So if we get 21 more of these Jade Avengers, we're good to go. We got the gas. Mono green samurai 2035. Let's do this.
Kitchen table commander deck where you can have any number of Jade Avengers on your deck.
Oh, I would make that. If we get 30 more of these Jade Avengers here today, which I hope we don't, but at the same time, I'll do it. I'll do it. It'll happen.
Hey, average.
Our friend the average Gargadon. Just in a common foil.
Beautiful.
We have a Loathsome Curator. This is a 5/4 for 4 with Exploit. Exploit is that you can sack a creature as it enters the battlefield, and if you exploited, you can destroy target creature you don't control with mana value 3 or less.
Yeah.
I don't know if they needed the 3 or less attached to this. Maybe. Maybe that you can't just flicker it infinitely and sack a bunch of infinite tokens and do some crazy stuff. I don't know.
That was another card I ran in my pre-release that did pretty well for me.
I could see this be really good in limited. I just don't know if it needed to be mana value 3 or less.
Don't know.
I'm not sure exactly if there was a flavor win off of that, if there's something I missed, but it seems really good for a format like that. Yeah.
Next.
We have an Arcbound Whelp. In foil. That is one of the uncommons. This is one of the modular guys. The modular dragon. So it has fire breathing and flying, as a dragon should, and it's got modular too. So it comes with 2 1/1 counters.
Mm-hmm.
So for 4 mana, you get a 2/2 flyer with fire breathing, which is pretty bad unless you can abuse the modular part. I played Zabaz on one of our last videos, and I think I did actually play this guy during that game.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
What
Squirrel Sanctuary.
Yay!
Here we go. It's a 1 mana enchantment that makes a 1/1 squirrel when it enters, so it's already a 1/1 for 1. Whenever a non-token creature dies, you can pay 1, and if you do, return Squirrel Sanctuary to its owner's hand.
So 2/2 for 2 is bears. I guess 1/1 for 1 is squirrels.
So that rate's not that great, but if you're playing Squirrel Chantress, so if you have out like an Argovian Enchantress that says whenever you cast an enchantment, draw a card. And now this gets a little bit better to me, because if I have a non-token creature die and I pay 1 to return this and 1 to play it, I make a 1/1 squirrel and draw a card.
That's pretty good.
So I think if you're running in the enchantment build, the deck that Rachel Weeks ran on the Command Zone when she did Toski was an aura-based Toski deck. I could see this in that, maybe. I don't know if it had the creatures to die to bounce it, but just to draw cards and continue the squirrel theme. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. We have another cool island.
Beautiful.
Another fancy little etched island.
Says maybe Muldrotha Valley.
And we've got Arid Mesa.
Another extended art.
Love to see it. Would love to see it in foil a little bit more, but let's add that to our pile. Got Prophetic Titan. I don't know this card that well, but to my knowledge, it's Prophetic Bolt attached to a giant.
Makes sense.
That you do need the Delirium for it to go off. So when an ETB is, you get to choose one of the bottom 2 modes, but you have to have Delirium to do it. And the modes are that it can either deal 4 damage to any target, or that you can look at the top 4 cards of your library. I'm sorry, I misread this. When it enters the battlefield, you choose one regardless. If you have Delirium, you choose both.
Flicker.
Yeah. Really cool to see Giants get this Is It build after Kaldheim. Prophetic Bolt is a good card. Blue does the flicker thing. I could see it.
Oh, yeah.
We got another mythic. It is Torok, the Dread Cantor.
What are you?
This is, for those who do play 60-card formats and hate discard, Hymn of Torok, which is a card that makes people discard stuff. And they kept that theme going with Torok here. He is a 2/1 for 1 and a black with kicker black. When he enters the battlefield, if he was kicked, target opponent discards 2 cards at random. He also has protection from white, and whenever an opponent discards a card, you put a 1/1 counter on him.
Neato.
So if you kick him, he actually comes in as a 4/3 for 4, which is a good rate. Pro white's kind of interesting. Like, you can't path him. You can't, which that's, if you play him in modern, he can't get pathed. If you're playing him in commander, he also still can't get pathed, but he also can't get swords or, a lot of other things, which is cool. Helps him get through as well to deal damage if you are swinging. This makes me think of Tiny Bones, which is a card that I hate to play against.
Yeah.
After I got him.
What's that?
So that's why I sold him after I got him.
You're like, I don't want to. I know if I show up, it's like Tigrid, right? Like, if you show up with a Tigrid deck, 3 people are going to hate you out of the game instantly. And I feel like Torok, he might not be on that Tigrid level, but like, what's going to happen when you see this, right? Like, there's nobody who just plays a fun discard deck.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Lots of hate.
Oh no.
What?
We have a sketch Foil Jade Avenger.
Yay!
We're getting there. We have 2 now. If we get
keep the Jade Avengers in a special plot.
said those words. Oh, cool. This is a retro foil frame Chatterstorm.
Yeah.
This is kind of a crazy card. 1 in a green, you make a 1/1 Squirrel Token, and it has Storm. So you can make a lot of Squirrel Tokens. That Squirrel Sanctuary, you cast that for 1. After bouncing it back, your Storm count goes up.
Which one do you want,
Chatterstorm. So we're finding it. Changeling Outcast, Etched Foil Retro Frame. This will go directly into my Morophon deck. Bling it out. It could also go in many Yuriko decks. It's a well-known card. It has done some work. Ooh, and that is an Etched Foil Karmic Guide.
Hell yeah.
My Kieran deck will love this. This is an Angel Spirit. Probably know what it does by now. It reanimates things. It is a dreaded combo piece. I love it.
Beautiful combo piece.
We have got a foil General Ferris Rockrick. Some really cool lore attached to this card. And we got a crab.
Yay, gangsta.
So this is, so what I've heard, there's a card called 10th District Guide. And that card is seen like a lore cycle where this individual has constantly gotten promoted through each Ravnica set that's come out. And now they've finally been promoted to having a real name.
Beautiful.
It's got hexproof for monocolored. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, you make a 4/4 red and white golem artifact token. So this is a Boros card that wants you to cast more stuff that has Boros in the colors as the commander. So it could be pretty cool.
It's like that one guy at a job fair that's just like pressuring everyone to sign up for his sheet.
All right, we're going to pack 4. We're at 6:45, so I'm gonna power through this a little bit more. Yeah. We got a Gilt Blade Prowler. I was stoked for this one. Parcel Mirror is a clue mirror. Ooh. So he's a mirror, but he's also a clue. You can pay 2 and sack him to draw a card. That's Importantly, cool. Clue is an artifact type, not a creature type, which I found out. I'm a little sad about that. Got our goat friend. Got the Bannerhide dude. He's a reinforced scavengy boy. He's worth looking into if you do any of those things. We got that goat I was talking about.
Hey.
Caprichrome.
That was actually a pretty decent card, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 3 white 2/2, so 4 mana 2/2 with Flash and Vigilance, and Devour Artifact 1. So as it ETBs, you can sack any number of artifacts, and then you can put that many 1/1 counters on him, equal to it. So if something crazy is about to happen to like one of your artifacts in particular, you can just flash him in, eat the artifact first, and he's big. It unfortunately, like, it won't work with a lot of the like your board wipes and stuff like that, because then he'll be out as an artifact and will still get hit by like a Bane of Progress. But if somebody's just like, I'm gonna kill these 3 artifacts in general, you can just eat them instead. Seal of Removal. Seal Cycle is back. They're pretty cool. They're enchantments, kind of like the Soul Snare, where they're kind of that rattlesnake effect. You can sack it to return a creature to its owner's hand. So you can just leave this out, and people will be like, oh, if I kill that, he'll just get it back, so I might as well not kill it. In theory. You got another island.
Hey, it's a different art.
It is a different art. I like this one the most from the islands, I think.
I like the palm tree one. I think that one's so cool.
Actually, yeah, I don't know. They're both really good. Everyone in comments, let us know which island is the best.
Vote for your best. Your favorite. Okay.
All right, we got a rare. There's an Unmarked Grave. It's an exciting card. I've heard a lot of talk about this just because it's kind of like Entomb. I mean, it is basically Entomb. It's just not instant. 1 in the black, you put a non-legendary card from your graveyard or from your deck into your graveyard. So you can get your Drakmor salvages. You can get your Life from the Loams. I might just be talking about Gitrog here, but you can do a lot with it. My Toshiro deck might like that.
Hey.
We have sketch art for a ravenous squirrel. I like that the art action on this is a squirrel who eats everything. And they just put like a human hand in his hobble. Try and get in on this. So you can see the squirrel. We got like a human hand in there. He's eating a snake.
I think
there's like half of a bird.
I think that one would be really cool in an old border.
It would be, yeah. I don't know if it's available in that.
Yeah, I mean, if it was one color, yeah.
Oh, sure. All right, so that was our sketch uncommon. Ooh, our sketch rare is an Urza's Saga.
Hey.
Holy cow. This could potentially be worth more than that Arid Mesa over time. This is a crazy card. I just got to play it today in my Urza Tribal deck at the card shop. I got to search for an Ornithopter off of the last effect, but honestly, those Karnstructs, the 2 tap and make a dude, it's pretty good for casual games. It is a really solid, like, you can do something without spending cards. So you can just have things happen. So
it's pretty
super cool. Yeah. I'll have to look at the sketch a bit more. There's a Good Morning Magic episode about this that talks about the art design for it and how they made the choices they did. And it's well worth a listen to. Ooh, we have an Underworld Hermit. This is the new Hermit. Hermits always make squirrels. This one is a human peasant, which is neat, and it makes squirrels equal to your devotion to black. The mood is that he's the Pied Piper of squirrels.
Love it.
Love to see it. Hey, we got a foil throwback Talisman of Curiosity.
What?
Not the best talisman, but
all the talismans.
They're still good to have. It's the Simic one. It's the blue-green. And they can land ramp, so they don't really need a talisman, but someone will play it. It
can be beneficial.
Yeah, we got a Nested Shambler. It's another squirrel card. When he dies, you can make a bunch of squirrels equal to his power. So he's kind of a zombie who wants to get big to turn into squirrels.
Hell yeah.
A Plague Engineer. That is a really good card. He can hose over creature types. You can kill a lot of squirrels with a Plague Engineer. Fun fact.
I love that card so much. Just having
really
that.
And it's...
Sorry.
It was errated to be a Phyrexian now, too. So...
Awesome.
Pretty cool.
I had that.
And we have got...
I had that in my Yawgmoth deck, and I named... what was it? I think it was snakes against... I can't remember names right now, but that one from Ikoria.
Like the wheels
die.
one?
Snake die.
Oh, wow.
Snake die.
Yeah.
That's great.
So here we have a sketch foil for Persist. And this is a black card, but you wouldn't know it because it's very, very just sketched. Persist is so good. 1 in a black, you can return a non-legendary creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it. Like 2 mana Reanimator sorcery, so good. Like it's not, Reanimate and Animate Dead can target other graveyards, which really helps them out a lot. It lets you kind of do some of the things you would do with like to a lesser extent of Rise of the Dark Realms, where you take other people's stuff, but the chances that you have something higher than 2 CMC to reanimate are very likely. That -1 counter is no big deal.
Yeah.
So we got some more bridges. We got a little vampire. We got the Floodhound. One of my favorite jokes in this whole thing is that it's a blue dog that makes clues. It investigates. You can get Blue's Clues.
Hell yeah.
Milliken, nice little self-mill mana dork boy.
Beautiful.
Healer's Flock. In Modern Horizons 1, they stapled 3 Llanowar elves together to make Llanowar Tribe. This is 3 Healer's Hawks stapled together. So it's a white, 3/3 flying lifelink.
Love it.
So, love that they continued on that. I hope they do one of each color. I hope Modern Horizons 5, we get like... I don't know what they would do for red. Just 3 young pyromancers stapled together.
Oh.
Be a little too good. Hey, we got it. This is my favorite out of this land cycle. This is the Lightning Land Plains from Odyssey block.
Very nice and foil.
So cool looking. I love the added.
Is there a person in there?
Oh yeah, there's a little guy right down by this big tree.
Okay, that's a guy. Okay.
Yeah. And we got my favorite card here, the Academy Manufacturer. I love this. My favorite mechanic in Magic is Investigate. I love clue tokens. This says if you make a clue, food, or a treasure token, instead make one of each.
Ooh.
So there's infinite combos that can happen with this, with Pitiless Plunder and Cauldron Familiar. There's all kinds of different stuff that it can do. It's just super neat. I love the versatility of making a bunch of tokens.
Have him out and then Doc's Extortionist and boom.
Oof. Well, the crazy part when you're making that many tokens is that 2 mana to crack a clue it's not a great rate, but it's not bad. But when you're making, 18 that you can draw, 9 off of them.
Oh, yeah.
Dockside turns into 2 mana draw 9 instead of having all the mana, which could be beneficial, especially because you can do it in installments. So you can draw a card, think about your life, draw a card, think about your life. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like the card a lot. We got a Kitchen Imp. Now let's talk about really good and limited because he's got Madness for 1. He's a Flying Haste 2/2. Obsidian Charma. This guy's pretty cool.
There again.
Yeah, he hates on lands. So I like it.
Another one.
Got another Faithless Salvaging. Oh, I got excited when I saw that shiny blue on here. I thought we had either the Force or the Urza, but it's step through. It's got Wizard Cycling. If you play Wizards, you might enjoy it. We've got Galvanic Relay. This is a really cool card, especially for a common. Lets you really get a lot of card advantage in red momentarily. So, pretty neat. Ooh.
Yay.
That's good. 4 Borg and the Etched Foil retro border.
Hi.
I dig it. And that's not even the last card of the pack. I don't know what this is going to be good for yet. Are there any combos with this?
I'm going to run that in Ragavan because I've got to have multiple colors, so turn everything into a forest.
Why do you need the colors in it?
Because I can't cast spells paying any color. I have to use the colors that are in the card. So when he attacks and I deal damage, I have to. Yeah.
Interesting. So you'll run Urborg and Aviyama in there.
That's what I'm thinking. Yep.
Interesting. Okay, that's really cool. Really cool use.
Pipe.
And we've got a foil extended Rishadan Dockhand. I don't think he's going to be great for Commander. I think he'll do some things. I don't know. I was listening to a discussion about would you even run him in a Merfolk deck. It's such a maybe. Like, I wouldn't call him a land disruption slot. He would just be a 1/2 island walk in that type of deck.
I mean, Prof said he would.
Did he? I didn't listen to any of his stuff. I probably should have. He's the Merfolk guy.
Yeah.
Tormod's Crypt Keeper. Tormod's Crypt is now a creature. I don't know if that'll be better or worse.
What's the
golem
cost?
It's 3 mana. So 3 mana for a 3/2 Vigilant. And then you can sack it to do the Tormod's Crypt thing.
You have to tap and sack it.
You do tap and sack it, but that is why it's Vigilant. So you could still swing with it or whatever.
Yeah, but you just can't sacrifice it right away, so it's kind of worse.
It does have Summoning Sickness, yes. That is the rub. Aramoeba, cool art. You can discard a card to switch its power and toughness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We got a Human Pirate. He enters the battlefield and makes treasure token. Whenever you sack a treasure, he gets flying until end of turn. Maybe there's a world where the ETB can get abused, but until then. Duck's Shell Crawler. It's an insect. It puts 1/1 counters on things, and each creature with a 1/1 counter gets trample. When I first saw this, I thought Paul and his Mawu deck, but then I remembered Mawu just has trample already, so oh well.
Double trample.
Sorry, my dog is being a little obnoxious in the background here, if you can hear any of that. Got a Seal of Cleansing. This is a seal that I like a lot more. This one, you sack it to destroy an artifact or an enchantment. It's 1 and a white. This, again, does that rattlesnake thing of it makes people think about, do I even want to play this big enchantment? Do I want to play this Zendikar Resurgent while the Seal of Cleansing is on the field? Because I know what's going to happen next. So sometimes it's better to just have people not play cards by scaring them than getting rid of them. You got another little squirrel guy. It's a tree folk with Evolve, and when he gets 1/1 counters on him, you can make a Squirrel Token. I thought I saw some crazy stuff with this, with some 1/1 counter shenanigans where you just make squirrels, and then Cathar's Crusade puts a counter on this guy.
Yep.
And you just get infinite stuff, but it doesn't really stop. So if you like going the game to a draw because you made too many squirrels, play that.
Oh, that's a pretty art.
That is a really pretty art. I can't pronounce the artist's name, but first name is Tony. Thank you, Tony, for this beautiful mountain. And I really like this. Mountains, I think, get a lot of, there's too much red in the art. That's why I like the Bob Ross ones. They don't look like real mountains when there's so much red on them.
Mm-hmm.
So, another Rishadan Dockhand.
Yeah, I do.
They heard me talking shit before, so they're like, you're getting a second one. Hey, we got a Floodhound. I really like that this is the sketch art. On the sketch art, it says, action, this creature is a bloodhound, all caps, formed entirely of water, to really just drive home that name.
Beautiful.
We have a sketch art dermataxi. This is another great pun. Taxidermy mixed up. I really like this. I don't have a lot to say about it, but kind of look at it and think about your decks, and it might fit in more than you think. All right, we got another talisman. This time it's the green-black one. Again, green talisman, not that great, but I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
An Arcbound Shikari. This is another one of those modular guys. This one's pretty good, though, because when he ETBs, you put a 1/1 counter on each artifact creature you control. So he kind of buffs all your other modular guys and lets them get swall.
Swole.
Ooh. Etched Foil Brainstone.
What is that?
Interested to see what this card does. This is Brainstorm attached to an artifact. So it's 1 to play it, 2 tap and sack it, and then you brainstorm. You draw 3 and you put 2 back on top of your library.
Hey, another way to brainstorm wrong.
I think like this would be cool. And again, I'll reference Muldrotha a lot just as like a general thing, but like anything that can replay artifacts, because once you can play this again out of your graveyard, you're not burning a card to play it and then brainstorming, so you're actually getting more card advantage that way. I think that's going to be the secret to really using this. I also think this goes in Zerta decks that care about artifacts, because Zerta reduces the cost by 2 to activate its ability.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's just really good. Ooh,
Hey.
This was one I really wanted.
Yay!
Oh, goodness. Vellum of Sea and Sky, Old Border, Etched Foil, immediately going in my Kumena deck. This is such a good card. It draws cards. It gives Merfolk Ward. It gets indestructible.
And it's so pretty.
Let's just pull this up, because like for Merfolk, this is just chef's kiss. That's it. Very cool. Very cool. That's 2 really good cards in that Etched Foil slot in a row. There's also really cool art by Seb McKinnon. I wish they would have done a borderless extended one of this, but we got a Mythic. Oh, we got
it.
Foil borderless Chatterfang.
Hype.
It happened. Nick, you called it. We did it. We did it. All right, I can die happy.
Hype.
You're done now. Give the rest back to me.
Love it.
Well, we're about halfway through. I'm very excited, but we'll power through. I'll hold it back, and I'll just go run around in a circle around my house after this. Hard Evidence. This is another crab thing. It's a sorcery. Makes a 0/3 crab, and then you investigate, so you make a clue. This is another one that, I don't know, maybe you think about this in the right deck, like a Riku deck, where you're going to copy it or something.
I think if you want to do like a bunch of crabs making clues, you can have that crab token and just put a magnifying glass in his hand. with a little monocle. That'd be adorable.
Oh, so good. Monocle Crab would be great.
Yes.
Another Healer's Flock. Flame Blitz. This is a cool card. I like it quite a bit. It's 1 red. At the beginning of your end step, it deals 5 damage to each Planeswalker, and it's got cycling 2. So if you run this in a red deck or a deck that wants to discard, you could deal a lot to a Super Friends deck if they show up to the table, or if there is a Planeswalker problem. And if there's not, you just pay 2 and cycle it away.
Pretty great.
Really like it. It's another good Gen pack. I just recently listened to a thing about Gen, just because, again, it's got cycling and it's just a 1-drop. Very cool. We got Swamp.
Yeah.
Taking that Swamp. Ooh,
Hey.
we got Piru the Volatile.
Piru! If you guys listened to our stream a couple weeks ago, Paul made a Piru deck on stream. It was so cool.
Oh,
I'm excited for that.
Soon?
What?
If I get to play against Paul, I might build Dakon Blackblade. If you didn't know, Dakon Blackblade in the story fights Piru and causes Piru to just explode. So I just want to live it out.
That's beautiful.
We got an Abundant Harvest in Sketch. I don't know if it's going to show up super well because these sketches don't show up great on camera, but it actually looks pretty cool. There's a lot of pencil marking, a lot of intricacies on this one. Pretty decent. Ooh, we have a Borderless Shardless Agent.
That's cool.
Not a huge commander card, but it's a 3-drop 2/2 with Cascade.
What?
Yep, it's a 1 green blue 2/2 human rogue. It's an artifact creature as well. And it has Cascade. So Cascade, just a super cool mechanic. Shardless Agent has done a lot in some other formats. Definitely going to do some things in Modern, I bet. I don't play Modern, but that's my guess.
Odd.
Glimmer Baron.
I don't know
We
it.
have another Baron. The art is adorable. Please look it up on Google or wherever you look at your cards.
Beautiful.
So you can actually look at it more. But yeah, great little oaf. Sacks a token to get 2/2 until end of turn. So maybe you can kill someone with 1 if you do the token garbage thing. We have a Foil Abundant Harvest. All right. Terminal Agony.
Hey.
Madness. What's the card I'm looking for? Terminate. Really like the art. I like that Wizards used as a promotional thing.
It's cool.
Ooh, Enchantress Presence.
Oh,
Nice.
I need that.
Great onslaught card. Really cool to see in the Etched Foil. So we make that Squirrel Chantress deck. And then we've got a foil etched Lonus Cryptozoologist. I lost my ability to talk halfway through that. It's pretty cool. Whenever another non-token creature ETBs, you investigate. So you make a lot of clues in this. So if you're looking for something to helm your crab clue deck, Lonus.
Just make it.
I just like seeing investigate things. I have an Amaranth deck that focuses on investigating. It's definitely going to go in there. Ornithopter Paradise. Watch our last gameplay video once it's on YouTube. Ornithopter got a lot of use.
Yes, it did.
Not for its intended purposes, but it's such a good card. It's so versatile. You can do so many things with it. Like flyers are good. It's like tapping for any color mana is good and colorless. This could go in the Ragavan deck for Ben.
Yep, I've got one ready.
I see this going in a lot of decks. I think this is going to be, one of those $1 or commons a year down the road. If it doesn't get reprinted in every Commander product, which I hope it does. Smell Fear. This is pretty cool. It's got Proliferate, and then target creature you control fights one creature you don't control. I like this for Atraxa a lot, actually, because since Atraxa has Death Touch, when it fights things, it fights things. Being able to proliferate on top of that is pretty cool. Faithless Salvage, just not in a sketch this time. This might be the first non-sketch Faithless Salvage we got.
Yep.
Storm God's Oracle for the last common. Kaleidoscorch. I'm not a big fan of this card. It does damage to things, but it requires you to play multiple colors.
Thank you for the follow, the juice.
Thank you. We have another Underworld Hermit. And another Lightning Plains. Ooh, Timeless Dragon. This card is okay.
But
it looks really clean in this extended art because they take all of the reminder text off of this.
Oh, yeah.
I wish they would center it. If it was centered on the card, I'd be sold. But it's pretty okay. You can plane cycle it like the other one. So this one you pay 2 discard and you get a planes card. It doesn't have to be a basic planes. It can be a dual. It can be a triome. If you're really in that cycling build, you can pull your triome and cycle that as well if you really want to. But it's got Eternalize. This is from Amonkhet. You can pay 2 white to exile it from your grave and make a token that is I believe it's a black zombie version of it. So it'll still be a dragon. It'll still be flying. It'll still be a 5/5. Or no, it's a 4/4. All the Eternalized ones become 4/4s.
Dude,
that's their other shtick.
When you internalize it, have a special altered penny sleeve or fitted sleeve so you can make it look like it's a black dragon.
Well, actually, let's dig through our tokens real quick because the eternalized tokens actually have different art.
Oh.
We don't have one yet, but I have seen one there's an eternalized witness one. It's kind of like an Ewit, but yeah, they actually do have tokens that have different art that show it eternalized as well, which is really cool. So, pretty cool card. I could see this with like an Anointed Procession. You put it in a token deck, so if you have doubling season and all that, you make 2 4/4 flyers for 4 mana. That's a really good rate.
Mm-hmm.
Third Jade Avenger, we're up to 3.
Yay! Almost a play
27 set. More. I see another green common back here too. Oh, we got a mythic. It is Sword of Hearth and Home.
I want it.
Non-foil borderless. So good.
So
I love
good.
me some swords cards. I'm not going to go into depth on this one because there's so many people talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything everyone else has said about it, I'd say too. There's going to be a million good corner cases for this to be in the deck for that blink effect as well.
Oh yeah.
So such a good hit. And another Abundant Harvest after that. Followed by another Glimmer Baron. Might be out of order here. Universal Automaton. So 1/1 artifact changeling. He's looking pretty good in that old border.
That is
pretty good.
It looks like it belongs.
I'd swipe right. Ooh, this is a good hit. Ranger Captain of Eos, a mythic from Modern Horizons 1. He gets to do a lot of different stuff. He can search out a creature that costs 1 or less, so he can get a bunch of cool stuff. You can sack him and your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn.
Huh.
Great hit. That was a good hit in Modern Horizons 1. It's a good hit now.
Yeah.
Ooh, we have a foil extended Piru.
Nice.
Looking beautiful. Looking real beautiful. That's our last card in that pack. So far, our second to last slot has been better than our last slot. You could also use some more fetch lands.
On Twitch here, I do apologize for the late follow alert thing. I'm trying to figure it out. Every time I go online, it works on the website, but then going into Streamlabs, it just doesn't work. I don't understand.
So we went through our commons there, kind of sped through those. Uncommons, we have a Bone Shredder and a Gorilla Shaman. Bone Shredder is pretty good. It's another Phyrexian. Little Swamp. And after that, extended Gaia's Will. Building a Joda Suspend deck to try and cheat these in. This is going to be a bomb in that. Phantasmal Dreadmaw. Love to see a Dreadmaw. Love to see a 4 mana 6/6 as well. With Trample. Here, that's good. Hey! Speaking of good blue cards, nice Counterspell. Very
I like
nice.
that art.
Yeah, this is actually my third one now that I have this. I have a foil and another non-foil. So if anybody in stream wants this, reach out to us.
We'll take
Maybe
it.
we'll shoot it out to you. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. Otherwise, I'll cut you a good deal. Blacksmith Skill. This is a really good underrated common. Gives indestructible and hexproof to a permanent for 1 white. And if it's an artifact creature, it gets +2/+2. Like, kind of like Chef's Kiss. This is one of those that if you're going to get single targeted removal, like this is a counter spell. Like you can just invalidate something, which is just, it feels so good when you do it. Trust me. Play cards like this. Another average Gargadon. Now we have an Etched Foil Glimmer Baron.
Nice.
And a Territorial Kabu.
Kabu.
He's okay. I like that they did another Kabu. He's got options. He's okay. He's okay.
I just like
we got a
Kabu.
5/5. I think is this our we got another Timeless Dragon, this time in the Old Border Foil.
Pretty.
I love the art.
That looks pretty good too. I like that one.
It does.
I don't like it as the last card of my pack though.
Oh.
That's where the fetch land was supposed to be. So far we got 2 packs left. We're on 2 fetches. We've got some other cool stuff. I don't need fetches, so for me, this is like I'm.
Or a slot be nothing but fetches now.
Right. We got an Arcbound Mouser and an Arcbound Slasher.
Fetches
Like that, the
Jada
modulars had some cats. Bone Shards. Another Glimmer Baron. For an uncommon, we've got Road and Ruin. This is actually a pretty neat card. It's a little costy for ramp. It's a 2 and a green instant. Search your library for a basic land, put it into play tapped. But then Rune is one you can play as Aftermath, so you can only cast it as Rune if it's in your graveyard. And it deals damage to target creature equal to the number of lands you control. But that side is the sorcery. So it's a little weird that the ramp is at instant speed and the removal is at sorcery speed. Feels a little clunky that way, but the ramp at instant speed is okay if you're trying to play like a control or something like that, where you're holding up to bolt something or whatever, and then you don't need to, so you just ramp instead before your turn.
Yeah.
And then later you can just blow something up with Rune. Seems okay. I mean, 3 mana, you'll be able, in Commander, that Rune is going to deal a lot of damage. So, pretty good. Timeless Provisioner, they tried to redo Tireless Provisioner. They tried to redo Tireless Tracker in a more balanced way. This time it's whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a food token or a treasure token.
Huh.
So, landfall, make a treasure token. Seems pretty good to me. They did take off, so what made Tireless Tracker so good in some formats is that he gets a 1/1 counter anytime you sacrificed a clue. So, doesn't get big like him, but Landfall, make a treasure, I think that is going to have homes somewhere, because that's kind of like Lotus Cobra. That's better than Lotus Cobra. Lotus Cobra, you lose a mana at the end step. It costs a little bit more than it, but if you have a deck that would run a Lotus Cobra and you don't want to run a Lotus Cobra, run Tireless Provisioner. You got a Forest.
Yeah.
We have another Territorial Kabu.
Kabu.
You heard me talking shit, so now I have 2 of them. That Combine Chrysalis is back, this time in Sketch. Still as good as the last time we saw it. Priest of Felright's in Sketch. This actually looks really good in the Sketch. The Sketch kind of has kind of a clean, it almost has like a tattoo art feel. I don't know if we can get closer on that. Pretty neat. This is a cool card. You can pay 3 life, tap, and sack it to return a creature from your grave to the battlefield. You can only do it as a sorcery, but it's a 2/2 for a white and a black. So kind of like Persist is still better, but being able to reanimate something at 2 mana and some other cost is good. And it's got Unearth for 3 white black, so you can bring it back with haste for 5 mana. And then it gets exiled, but after it leaves, but you can get it back and reanimate again. So pretty good. We have a Lava Belly Sliver.
Beautiful.
If you like slivers, if you like old borders, there you go.
I like him a sliver.
Another Marble Gargoyle. We almost have a play set of those. Another Mind Collapse.
Another one.
Oh,
hey.
That's spicy.
Love that.
It's an Archmage's Charm. It's not quite a Force of Negation, but this is still a really good card. It's a modal counter spell from Modern Horizons 1. It's looking really good in this old border frame.
So
Actually looks pretty good in the Etched Foil. I think that helps it look older. Very cool. I run it in some decks, so it's kind of neat to have another one. Glimpse of Tomorrow. This is the Chaos card in the set. This is kind of like a one-sided, is it Thieves Auction? I don't remember. But for red, you can suspend it for 3 turns. It's the only way you can cast it. You shuffle all of your permanents into your library and reveal that many cards from the top of your library, and you put them all back on the field.
Weird.
So you swap out all your cards for new cards, including your lands. So you better be playing the right kind of deck. Because if you hit non-permanents, they just go back. Like, you don't get anything for those. So, you want a lot of permanents, you want good permanents. Glimpse of Tomorrow. I will be putting that in decks. You will see that get played on stream at some point. We got the last pack.
Last pack.
We need 5 fetch lands in this pack to make this box worth it.
Good luck.
Got Bottle Golems. It's okay. It's a 4-mana 3/3 trampler that when it dies, it gains some life. Echoing Returns. This is a very good common for the right decks. Persistent Petitioners. If you can fit this, if you can fit it in Persistent Petitioners, if you're blue-black mill, it's really good. What's those black, the clerics? Shadowborn
Apostles?
Yeah.
Yeah. It says return target creature card and all other cards with the same name as that card from your graveyard to your hand.
Okay, that's
For
good.
1 black. Relentless Rats, you can play it in.
Yeah, Shadowborn Apostle.
It is going to be a staple in very specific decks. And if you just happen to have one, if you're new to Magic and you just get one of those, 1 black sorcery to return a creature to your hand, if you get rid of the rest of that, is still okay. Still pretty good. You got a Foul Watcher. It's kind of like a Stormcrow, but it does other things. Got that Soul Specimen Collector. When it ETBs, you make a 1/1 squirrel and a crab.
Hey.
And when it dies, you create a token that's a copy of target token you control.
Love it.
So if you have big tokens, this is good. 5 mana for 2/1 isn't good, but get a squirrel and a crab with it. So Blossoming Calm. You gain hexproof until your next turn, and you gain 2 life. Life gain decks. I'm looking at you. This is a good. This is a pretty good one. It's okay.
And rebound. Yeah.
And it has rebound. Yeah. So the rebound is a little bit lackluster, just because you're playing this as an instant to give yourself hexproof. It's like you're trying to avoid something happening to you, but then on your next turn, you basically get hexproof again, and then you gain 2 life.
Kind of weird.
So I think the life gain synergy is more important. Like, it's a good tech card for that life gain deck. Hey, we got Zabaz.
Hey.
Made it in. So we have an extended Zabaz.
Which Zabaz do you have already?
I just have a normal, no frills little boy.
Now you
or
got
girl.
the extended
I don't really
big
know.
one.
Now we have an extended one. So when I remake him, I am going to remake Zabaz. The last time the one I built him for stream was a deck building challenge. This time I will actually put effort into him a little bit more. Rakdos Hellbinder. And we have got a Dress Down, which is okay. It's all right. I don't really know. This art's a little very minimalist. It's very sketch.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
Cat.
Oh, it's Aramoeba. I got so excited.
Oh.
Most.
Oh, that blue, shiny old frame.
Still pretty.
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
Talisman of Conviction. That's the Boros Talisman. That's a pretty decent hit. Weather the Storm. Another great card from Modern Horizons 1.
Yeah.
Another Timeless Dragon. We almost have a play set of those. And I think this is the last card of the pack.
Oh.
We've got an extended Suspend. And it's okay. It exiles a creature and puts 2 time counters on it and gives it Suspend. So it comes back in 2 turns. So think this will be good for faster paced formats where the games don't last long, where it just stays gone forever.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, we didn't quite get, that's the box, everybody. We didn't quite get the fetch lands we were looking for. We didn't quite get probably our value out of the box. This was probably in the realm of Modern Horizons 2 collector boxes, a bit of a whiff.
A little bit.
But we're going to blame it on that packaging. They were still Magic cards inside of here. Now, it wasn't all bad. We did still hit a good amount of mythics. The Sword of Hearth and Home I'm very excited about. Having that Urza Saga in there is really good. The Fioraris Wake, you can never have enough Fioraris Wake. You can just fit that in any deck inside of its colors.
The Fushigi.
The Fushigi, yeah. All right.
Okay, so that wasn't the best hit out of the boxes that we've opened or people have opened, really. But still got some cool cards that he wanted. Got that alternate art foil extended art Chatterfang. That was pretty good. It's pretty solid. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We put out new videos. Hopefully, I'm going to try to do 2 times a week, depending on when our streams happen. But you can catch our live streams on twitch.tv/GoDeckYourself. We're live streaming on there 2 times a week at 6:45 p.m. Central Standard Timing. It'll be on Tuesdays and Sundays. Thanks for watching.